Namaste. In this video, we're going to talk about how I manifested peace, power, and purpose after being traumatized and hitting multiple rock bottoms. I'm Dhruva MD, a practicing board-certified family doctor, and I have been sober from alcohol, drugs, gambling debt, marijuana, self-hatred, complaining, blaming since July 31st of 2018. And I'm sharing my journey of trauma, rock bottom, which are in 2 other videos, and triumph. Just a quick recap. When I was younger, I was traumatized, abused by my dad, went to juvenile detention. In medical school, my dad wanted me to fail. After that, I had failed 2 times, step 3. I finally got into residency after 4 years. Imagine that. I'm out of med school for 4 years and I get into residency. It's like starting all over again. After that, I get married, get divorced. It was such a trying time for me. I developed an alcohol addiction, a cocaine addiction, and gambling addiction, in debt for $300,000. All the medical staff I worked with helped me after I had a cocaine-induced manic episode. And now I'm going to talk about the triumphant parts of my life, which were even before I've been sober as well. From 8 to 14, the triumph that I would consider after being abused, being bullied, and my mom not being there, being institutionalized for 27 years, was that I was pretending to be happy. People would say I'm the happiest kid on the planet. I was like joking all the time, teasing people, dating. I wasn't like the most popular kid in school, but I was well liked by my group of friends. And that was special. And everybody was like, you're so happy. I'm getting beat at home. I'm going to Child Protective Services. My dad is constantly saying, you're stupid, you're dumb. Interestingly, in my speaker reel, which you can see on my main, is one of my main things on my website. It took me 300 hours to edit that speaker reel. And that speaker reel is about 6 minutes long. And there I talk about where maybe I was thinking about it then, is if my dad would have said one time, maybe twice, that you're stupid, you're dumb, I may have believed it. But he said it so much that I was just like, whatever, I was impervious to it. In any event, I was pretending to be happy. Then I go to juvenile detention. After that, from 19 to 25, I get 7 scholarships into medical school. So there's the perceived triumph, right? But what really happens here is I hit another rock bottom where I am hating myself even more. My self-esteem is even lower, and my confidence is even lower. The only trouble with this part is that that's okay. I wish I would have accepted it. Why is that? Look, I'm the guy who went to jail. I was in juvenile detention, and then I got 7 scholarships into medical school. Everybody liked me. That is overconfidence. I always like to say overconfidence is a narcissistic trait, which is directly proportional to low self-esteem. Look at what I did. Can you believe what I did? Why did this happen to me? It's their fault. Those are narcissistic traits, and I had developed those then. I finished medical school. I left India the day before my visa expired. My dad wanted to keep me in India. My cousin takes care of me in London, barely past step 1. After that, I'm out of med school for 4 years, struggling. And then I get married, I finish residency, I take my mom out of a psychiatric facility. That was probably the #1 best thing I've ever done in my life, was my mom was institutionalized for 27 years with schizophrenia. The day I graduate residency, I take her out. Then I get married, and then I buy a home. Perceived triumph, correct? But then I haven't reprocessed these things that have happened when I was younger. Have you heard this saying that when you manifest something, the law of attraction, law of abundance, law of vibration, when you use these to your advantage and you're coming from a place of lack, hatred, or resentment, or judgment, self-judgment, what happens is that when you get to the place that you want to, you hate yourself even more. And that's what happened, is I hated myself even more. The good news here is the big triumph was not residency, marriage, my mom is #1 at anything I've ever done. But that wasn't the big thing, right? The big thing was, how about this? The big thing was the self-diagnosis of self-hate. That was probably the best thing that happened to me here. That was the triumph, because now I accepted it. I'm like, look, I gotta be single. Now, another triumphant part of my life was being single for almost 8 years in my life. I've been single on purpose for almost 8 years. I have been single most of my life. I've been in only a few relationships. In the last 8 years, I was in 2 relationships that were about 1.5 years long. Great relationships, just not the right time of our lives. but I learned just a heap ton of stuff in those relationships that have allowed me to be the next best version of myself. After that, I drink, I drug, I have a cocaine-induced manic episode. People at work helped me. July 31st, 2018, I am sober. How about that, huh? Over 7 years now. Way to go, buddy. But then during this time, I had to do things to reprocess all of these. Otherwise, I would have ended up right back into all of these places, right? Let's read some medical evidence on eye movement, desensitization, reprocessing therapy. EMDR is clearing the resentment implicit bias. You can't manifest from a state of self-hate or blame. EMDR is what will help you forgive yourself, see your story clearly, and start from zero again, making it the foundation of everything that you're going to manifest. So let's read the core medical evidence here. After EMDR therapy, patients show improved emotional well-being, increased resilience, and decreased depressive symptoms. This is from Hayes et al., or EMDR reprocessing facilitates emotional well-being and integration and reduces symptoms. Researchers found that EMDR can help you with emotional wellness and resilience. Imagine that day where you're like, look, these things happen to me for a reason, and when I get here, I'll be able to inspire somebody. God, universe, higher power. I don't know how that's going to happen, but I will do the writing. I'll take those inspirational steps that I don't want to. When I don't want to do it, I'll just make myself do it, and I'll keep on doing it until I lose that 60 pounds, until I gain that muscle, until I become financially consecrated, until I become emotionally sovereign, and I'm living in the clouds of emotional freedom. That's the big triumph here, right? The big triumph here is that I don't hate myself. I don't judge myself. I love what I don't like about myself because I've inspired from it. I've forgiven myself for the things I've done to other people. In turn, I was able to forgive my abuser, my dad. I was able to forgive other people that I've done wrong by me. But I didn't direct my forgiveness towards them. It was first towards me. And what did I do? I wrote. I just kept on writing. I just kept on writing over and over and over again by myself in monastic solitude, not being in a relationship when nobody was watching me, develop that steady state of serotonin with myself, that oxytocin bond with myself, and I have steady states of dopamine by myself. What I'm trying to inspire you with is that this is possible for you too. And then this is what they talk about, right? When you reprocess, when you have an empathic, implicit mind, that means you don't hate, resent, or blame somebody. You can, when you manifest something, you can welcome it in. Otherwise, if you're manifesting money, house, car, you're gonna displace those fears on other people. You're gonna displace your hatred on other people. You don't want that. You can find a mind hygiene guide. There will be a link in the description below. There will also be a link to a mind hygiene study that you can read as well that has medical evidence. And please subscribe, like, comment, let me know what you're thinking and how I can make the videos better. And I hope that this helped you, this series of me going from trauma, rock bottom, to triumph, and how I manifested it with medical evidence-based therapies. Namaste.